I'm going to show you how to do the A-level physics practical, how to find the EMF and internal resistance of a battery. So batteries provide an EMF, that's electromotive force. You can think of that as the total voltage that the battery can output. However, batteries are not perfect conductors, so they have a little bit of resistance inside of them. So we can model a battery as a perfect battery with a little resistor inside as well, and we're going to call that the internal resistance. What we want to do is hook up a battery to just a load resistor. And it's a good idea to have a variable resistor so you can change it because we want to change the current flowing through the circuit, therefore the current flowing through the battery. We want an ammeter in series with the battery and resistor as well. So what I'm going to do is change the load resistance. So this is my load resistance here. You might have some different looking variable resistors, but it's going to be the same setup. And I'm going to get my current to exactly 0.10 amps. And there you go, fairly precise. So now that I have my current, I then want to measure the terminal PD. Now the terminal PD is the voltage available to the circuit. So even though the battery says 6 volts, there's not going to be 6 volts available to the circuit because some of that is being lost in the battery. And sure enough, my voltmeter doesn't say 6 volts, it says 5.53 volts. That shows that some of the 6 volts EMF from the battery is being lost in the battery, and so we have a terminal PD of less than 6 volts. Let's increase the current by reducing the resistance in the circuit and see what happens. I now have a current of 0.20 amps flowing through the circuit and therefore flowing through the battery. The terminal PD is now 5.37 volts, so even more of the EMF has been lost in the battery. I'm just going to get my PDs for 0.30, 0.40 and 0.50 amps as well. And so here are all of my results. As we can see, as the current increases, the terminal PD goes down, which is what we expect. Let's draw a graph of that where we have terminal PD on the y-axis and current on the x-axis. Now, if there was no internal resistance, then we should just have a flat line. But because there is internal resistance, the more current we have flowing through the battery, the more of that total PD, that's the EMF, the internal resistance takes up. So what we can do is extrapolate this line back to the y-axis, to when there would be no current flowing through the circuit. And that should theoretically give us what the EMF is of the battery. And we can see that it's 5.69 volts. Still not the full 6 volts because, well, over time, that EMF does decrease as well. But at this point in time, the EMF of the battery is 5.69 volts. Now, if you wanted to, just stick a voltmeter straight across the terminals of the battery without anything else in the circuit. Theoretically, there should be no current flowing because voltmeters have a very high resistance, but there is going to be a tiny bit flowing. And so you could find the EMF that way, but using this graphical method is a more accurate way of getting the EMF. Now, because effectively all this is a potential divider, we have the EMF is being split between the terminal PD. We can say that's I big R, that's our load resistance, and some of that is being lost in the battery, that's I little r, where R is the internal resistance. So if I big R is just the terminal PD, we can replace that with V. That's what's on our y-axis. I is what's on our x-axis. So actually, epsilon, that's EMF, equals V plus I little r. That's actually what gives us our straight line graph, where V is our y variable, EMF is our y-intercept, and so therefore, little r is going to be our gradient. Because we end up with V equals minus I little r plus epsilon, that means that the internal resistance is going to be minus the gradient, which makes sense. The gradient of my graph is minus 1.65, and so therefore we can say the internal resistance is just 1.65 ohms.